Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm doing something different instead of Demon Slayer. What if someone tried a new anime I like a lot called Solo Leveling? And this is if he had time to find a girlfriend instead of farming for strength. And this is taking place in Season 2 if the main character Sung Jinwoo fell in love with one of the hunters. Hunter Park Hee-jin, and this is what their relationship would go if they were to date. This is not canon. This is if Jinwoo would date her anyways. On to the video. Jinwoo had just gotten done with his teacher meeting for his sister Jaina, and he talks to another E-rank hunter Song, and tries to tell her how bad hunting is for her, since she's only an E-rank, and tells her to come with him for a dungeon raid to see how it is done. As they arrive to the gate that they were supposed to raid, he catches the attention of a hunter who seems to see him as a very strong person that Hunter is. Hunter Park, as Jinwoo is being briefed on the dungeon. They get the okay to go in. When they walk in the gate, Jinwoo feels that there is something wrong and sees that the gate has turned red, and it is bad for them as they are transported to an ice area. As they wake up from being transported to the ice area, they see that there are ice evils as they kill a D-rank hunter. And as Jinwoo catches an arrow intended for Songy Hunter Park, it is left shocked that Jinwoo had noticed and managed to catch the arrow. The group of hunters decide to split up. As they do, Hunter Park decided to join Jinwoo group instead of the other. When she gets next to Jinwoo, she asks if he an S-rank hunter than an E-rank. Jinwoo doesn't answer her, only confirming her suspicion on him as she blushes a little looking at him. As they are walking to the territory, they start to feel cold. Then Jinwoo pulls out 4 coats out of his inventory and tells them to put it on so they could stay warm, and tells them not to ask any questions about him. As they are walking, Hunter Park realizes that they have walked into Ice Bear territory and tells Jinwoo, and he tells him to stay close to him so that they don't get hurt. Hunter Park goes next to him and wraps her arms around his arm, so she feels more safe, making Jinwoo blush a little. But they continue to walk to the forest they are, and then they come across the Ice Bear cave as an ice bear comes out challenging Jinwoo. Jinwoo asks to be let go so he can fight Hunter Park. Lets go of him. Then Jinwoo summons his blades as he cuts down the bear with lightning speed. As more ice bears arrive, Jinwoo says arise as his shadow army comes forth and is ready for battle. As Jinwoo tells him to kill them, they go and have a big battle with Jinwoo coming across the boss bear, which eliminates his shadow army. Jinwoo, being impressed, tells Igris to kill it, as Igris gladly does, quick killing the bear and then bowing before Jinwoo. Jinwoo tells Igris great job and tells the bears' corpses to arise as the shadow bears do, and welcomes a part of the shadow army. As they all go away, Jinwoo turns around to see Hunter Park's jaw dropped and blushing as she is impressed by how powerful Jinwoo is, and then does a heart shape and confesses her love toward Jinwoo, which leaves him blushing bad. As she says that she makes Jinwoo wonder if he can have a girlfriend since he has never been in a relationship, and how it would be nice to have a girlfriend, as she runs and hugs him while smiling, making Jinwoo blush more and making him smile a little. He tells him that he will cook them some bear meat. As he cooks the meat, he goes out and sees if there is any more danger. As he has gone to command of the strike squad, Kim Chul comes back injured and angry that his team was killed, and pulls out his sword about to kill them and gives them to the count of 3. When he gets to 3, Jinwoo intervenes and throws Commander Chul away and tells the ice evils to revile themselves since he knows that they are there. As they revile themselves, Jinwoo tells his shadow army to come forth ready for battle, telling Hunter Park to get the other hunters away from the area since there's going to be a big fight, and tells her if he survives, he will date her, which makes her blush and happy, and takes his deal. Then the leader of the Ice Elvis to charge for battle, and Jinwoo does the same for his shadow army as they fight Jinwoo, and Igris fight the boss of the Ice Elvis. As they are fighting, Jinwoo and Igris are becoming overwhelmed from the speed of the boss. Then Commander Chul rushes Jinwoo as Igris makes a gust of miss, killing Commander Chul. As Jinwoo tells his shadow to arise, as it does, it smashes and hits the boss, as Jinwoo names it Iron, as they team up and eventually end up killing the boss. Then Jinwoo's shadow army finally kills all the Ice Elvis, telling Hunter Park that it's okay and that it is now over and that they can go home now. As their portal home finally opens, all the remaining survivors cheer as Jinwoo and Hunter Park look at each other and hug each other, happy that they made it through it. But before they leave, Jinwoo tells him to keep his skills a secret and not to tell anyone. As they finally leave, Jinwoo and Hunter Park walk together, holding hands as they finally walk back to their world. As the gate closes behind them, happy that is all over. But Jinwoo is tired and offers to give Songy and Hunter Park a ride home. As they both agree, they get into his car and he drops them off at their home. But when Hunter Park gets out his car, Jinwoo tells her he will pick her up at 9 o'clock tomorrow for their date. This is the end of part 1 of the series. Next is episode 2, The Date of Jinwoo. And Hunter Park, let me know if y'all like this content and what new relationships y'all would like to see next. Till then, next episode coming tomorrow.